Hi, this is Steve Goranson with Action Coach Business Coaching with another Jacksonville Business Spotlight. Today we are with Mary Fisher, Fisher Design and Advertising. Mary, welcome to the Business Spotlight.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to see you.
Hey, so great to see you too. I hope you are doing well. So let's get started. So why don't you just introduce yourself, your company, and what you guys do?
So I am Mary Fisher, CEO of Fisher Design and Advertising. We are a 31-year-old firm that does both traditional and digital marketing. Some of our services include marketing plans, logos, brochures, website design, search engine optimization, which is raising the rankings on your website, TV and radio commercials. And Steve, that's your background, is TV and radio. Right. Social media ads, digital ads on websites. We do a great deal of marketing in the medical and healthcare space. And some of the clients that you might know would be Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute,
okay,
Fabian OBGYN, North Florida OBGYN, Jacksonville Hearing and Balance, CureQuest Clinical Trials. But we also do some work with professionals and construction industry. So attorneys and CPAs and that sort of thing. But Renaissance Windows and Doors, you might see some of their TV commercials right now. Cedar Construction, which is the largest locally owned home builder in the area, which are investments. The Small Business Development Center, Ace Hardware is a new one for us.
So what would you say with just, so you have a vast variety of clientele. Is there something that a thread that holds them all together? Is there a common thread with the people that you like to work with?
Well, like I said, we do a great deal of medical and healthcare. I have someone who works with me who is VP of Marketing at Baptist for 20 years. And so she's got all of that medical expertise. Years ago, we did a lot of work with Mayo Clinic. And once I started doing work with Mayo Clinic, that opened doors for lots of medical practices.
Right.
And in my office, I don't really have any salespeople. So once I bring in a client, they will work directly with the creative talent without having a salesperson in between.
There's no middleman.
No middleman. And so you don't have loss of communication that way.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty unique when in the agency arena.
It is, actually. And so they like being able to come in and sit down next to the web designer whenever we can sit down again. Right. But you just get more what you want if you can sit down in a room and you can talk about the most important purposes.
Right. So you just announced some pretty special news out there too. So why don't you share that with everybody?
I have super exciting news. I just had a merger with a company called Savvy, which is a digital marketing firm. And we've been working on this merger for about 8 months. Working together, she can expand her services and I can expand mine. For instance, she's been doing all of the digital marketing for Ace Hardware, and she hasn't handled any of the traditional marketing. So I can help her with that piece of it. And for us, we can do more of the digital. She's been working with us for about 4 years doing our digital, but now I've got a lot more channels in the digital market that I didn't have before. I never thought I wanted a partner, never, because I never thought anybody else would ever work as hard as I do.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I will say that I know Erin. She's definitely a hard worker.
That's right. You do know Erin, and she is a hard worker.
So how has COVID, how has that affected every business in certain ways? How has that affect your business or maybe even some of your clients that you work with?
Initially, we had 3 or 4, maybe 5 different trade shows we were working on, completely canceled. Mm-hmm. Worse for the advertiser because we had already designed the trade show.
Yeah.
It was not ever printed and built, but they had been designed. They were not able to go. Some of the biggest impacts for me is that whenever I meet with a prospect for the very first time, I meet with them in person. It is not a virtual meeting. It's not a phone meeting. We meet in person and you have some rapport that you build there. Mm-hmm. And I'm finding it's a little bit harder to close a deal by phone or by Zoom. Not everybody wants to do a Zoom meeting, And to be honest with you, I'm surprised how many computers do not have a camera on it. Yes, and so sometimes I've got a Zoom meeting with someone and they're using their phone and all you're really doing is looking up their nose. It's just an unpleasant view.
So have you had to pivot in any way to really change the way you've done business during this time?
Well, it's interesting because you probably know this as being my coach. I was terrible about having staff meetings. If I had a staff meeting every 2 or 3 months, that was a big deal. Now we have a staff meeting every single week and it's on Zoom and we're all on it.
All right.
It's a great thing.
And what's the benefit of, have you found having those staff meetings?
I lost the ability to communicate with my staff. I used to be able to walk through the office, look over somebody's shoulder and see if they were going down the wrong path. That's been particularly hard not having them here. Erin is quite used to working with her staff remotely. Me, not so much. But having the Zoom meetings, we have a little bit more communication and people ask questions. We're implementing a lot of new technology. And so some of the challenges with the new technology, the older folks, they're not dying to change to new technology.
Yeah.
Zoom is about all they want to do, and they don't really want to do all the cloud-based collaboration software. So that's been a bit of a challenge for us. Now, some of the good things that have happened during COVID is that people are on social media a great deal more than they used to.
Yep.
So we are doing a lot of Facebook, Instagram advertising. Also, initially, when COVID first came out and everyone was working from home, everyone was watching the news. And so we placed a lot of TV spots on the evening and afternoon news, and everybody was watching it. The bad thing was, whenever our long-winded president would come on, they would bump those spots right off.
So what would you say right now? What's the thing that's inspiring you most these days?
Inspiring me. All right. So I do have a new business partner. She's in her 30s. And it's very exciting to be around young, motivated marketing professionals. New software, new ways to do things. And I love learning. I love software. I like tutorials. I like learning something new. And she brings new things to the table all the time. I'm super inspired by that, to be honest with you.
That's cool. You mentioned before that we had worked together. How's coaching helped you in your business over the years?
So when we worked together, there was goal setting and there was accountability. And I tell you, some of the hardest things to me was that I was too ambitious setting my goals. And so if I had to be accountable and I didn't meet all those goals, it was stressful, sort of. But it was great accountability. I love being able to set goals and get there. But one of the things that you did with me is you encouraged me to get a customer relationship management software. And I had been in business for 15 years, maybe longer before I got one.
Yep.
Now, and we talked through a number of different ones. I got on Zoho, which is a really good software. I like it. It's not too expensive. It does a lot of things. While it takes a great deal of work to put in all your prospects and clients for 15 or 20 years into software like that, that has been a great tool that you encouraged me to use. The other thing that you helped me with was sales, and sales is not really my strong point. I'm a marketing person, but you helped me with sales because you come from a marketing and sales background, and you taught me a great deal about that process. I encourage other people to use a coach, and I give your name out all the time.
Mary, it's been a delight speaking with you today, and thank you very much. If anybody needs to really grow their business and really create a new brand, you see Mary's contact information out there, so reach out to her. And again, Mary, thank you very much.